Today, we're going to brew some mead with your favorite Viking Bjorn, and the cameraman, Kenny D, your favorite comedian. Now let's go brew some mead. This here is called a kveik stock, translated yeast log. Back in the day, the Vikings did not have these here, in these nifty little packets. They kept their yeast on little holes on a stick, called a kveik stock. I'm doing both methods just because I'm nuts.
Make it extra yeasty.
Extra. So what we're going to do first is add some distilled water. I use distilled water because it does not impart any off flavors, and it doesn't take as long as boiling the water. And for anybody out there that says they have to boil the water and the honey to get all the impurities out, you're a load of shit. You don't listen to them, people. You ready? What we have here is pure and simple, 100% pure honey. Costs about 13 bucks at Dollar General, or not Dollar General, but Walmart. Just pour it in here and stir.
And how much honey are we using for a batch this size?
This one here, because it's going to be maple mead, we're using 10 pounds of honey. And I'll show you how to get the little bit of honey left in the jar out as we pour all this niceness in here. Next ingredient is maple syrup, 100% pure Vermont, 32 fluid ounces, 1 quart. So we're going to use this, trying this out, never tried it before. About 6 to 8 months we'll find out how this tastes. Sugar, sugar, sugar. That's all you need, a bunch of sugar. Just don't use refined sugar. Use natural, whatever you can find natural.
So when making mead, why does it take so long? Why does it take 6 months?
Because those little yeasties, they can eat their weight in sugar, depending on what type you use. I use Lavalin D47. It can yield a alcohol percentage about 13-14%. So that's why it takes so long. You have to eat up all this sugar. And you have to rack it every couple months so that all the dead yeast and all the rest of the crap at the bottom doesn't impair the yeast from eating all the sugar.
And what does it mean to rack it?
Take it from one jug to another using a racking cane and a hose. At the end of this film you'll see that process from another batch that I've already brewed. The next thing we're going to use is some molasses. Use about a cup just to give it some earthy flavor to it. As I said, about a cup.
Man, I love the smell of the molasses.
Yeah, it smells freaking good.
It's pretty good in baked beans too.
It's better than booze. You get the honey out, the rest of this nice dandy honey. Just stick some water in there. About halfway. Find your lid. Put that on there. Make sure it's nice and tight. Shake it.
Shake it, shake, 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 shake it, shake, shake, shake it like a jar of honey.
Then you put it in your next jar. And shake. I'm going to do it with the maple syrup also. the rest of the molasses.
And few people may know this, but this is actually a favorite cocktail of Winnie the Pooh.
Ooh, is it now? Did not know that.
From what I heard. It's from what I heard.
You know how rumors are.
Yeah, 100 Acre Forest has a lot of rumors going on, especially about Piglet, let me tell you.
Heard there's a lot about Rabbit too. But he likes other rabbits.
Giggity.
Now, like I've said, I've never made this before, but I got the idea. The maple syrup is awesome.
Might as well just go ahead and get the last of the molasses out there to you.
Indeed. Sugar. Yeast loves sugar. The more sugar.
So yeast is like the fat kid of the bacteria department.
It's not bacteria. It's fungus. Related to mushrooms.
Oh.
So it's the fat kid of the fungus department.
The more you know.
The more you know. Next step is take your yeast, put it in water, just like that. Let it sit in there for about 5 minutes, and I'll show you the next step. See little tiny explosions in there. That's the yeast going into the water and slowly multiplying. So what we're going to do now, it's been sitting for roughly about 5 minutes. We're going to put a little bit of this. This is some of their must, which is what the alcohol is called before it's turned into alcohol. We're going to stick it in here so the yeast has some food.
Just stick it in there, huh?
Just stick it in there. Pour it on in there. Take your fork. Slowly stir. Get it good. You'll start seeing some bubbling action in there. Bubble, bubble, bubble. That's the yeast completely activating, multiplying, making alcohol, which is what we want. After you stir it really well, we'll put a paper towel over top of it because flies really enjoy this. You don't want flies in your brew.
I don't know. You can have flies in your soup, but not in your brew.
Nope, never in your brew. Now you got yourself a good little starter batch there. All nice and milky.
And that's another 5 minutes after putting the musk in there.
Yep, that's another 5 minutes. Putting the must in. Just pour it in. Get aerated. Yummy, yummy, yummies. Num nums. Pour some more water in. Don't get ahead of yourself like I tried to do.
Last jug of water here.
Won't need all of it. Now another thing with your yeasts, make sure you get a yeast that works in your climate. Lavlin D47's rated from around 70 to 80. So if you go below 70 or 80, it's not going to work very well for you. Unless you're in, keep it in the house and so on and such forth during the winter times if you get really cold where you're at.
Now, With all that sugar and honey, well not sugar, but honey and maple syrup and all that in there, will it stay this sweet now that you added the yeast?
No, the yeast will consume the sugars, turn it into alcohol, and it'll get less sweet. It's pretty sweet right now. Myself and Kenny D, we tried some of the must. It's quite sweet. Of course, that's what you want. Now, after each rack, you're going to have to probably taste test it, see what you need to add to get the flavor you want. I'll probably be adding maple syrup in between the rackings because I want to have a very distinct maple syrup taste, a mapley taste to it. Whereas my spiced mead, I always put spices and a little bit more honey, usually clover honey because it's light tasting. So now all let's do cap it, put your airlock on, and wait.
So you said this will take between 6 and 8 months, right?
Yep.
And there we go, everybody. That's the mead making process. Hope you enjoy the video.